also planning on spending some time in Xiaoying Village? We didn't have anything else to do today, right? Why don't we go have a look around? Maybe we'll run into her. The mountain air is so refreshing. It makes Paimon feel like she could float around all day and never get tired. Cream! Gummies! Fuel fruit! Huh? Did you hear that? Sunshine! Blue skies! Good fun! Right? So Paimon wasn't just... that voice sound... Well, we've got the time. Why don't we go...
Well, if it isn't my dear partners. See, I told you that something good was going to happen during our travels today. I have to say, sometimes the Steambird's astrology column is spot on.
It's just your lucky day.
Are you guys also here to catch the festivities? Oh, and that reminds me. Happy Lantern Rite.
Happy Lantern Rite.
Happy Lantern Rite to you too! Wait, if you're here for Lantern Rite, then what are you doing on top? And that voice we heard, that was you, right, Navia?
Oh, impressive. You could tell it was me from that far away. You've got good ear.
That or your voice is just really loud.
Well, of course it is. After all, I'm a boss.
Indeed. I suppose it's an asset.
Sure is! Having a loud voice is a handy tool. Wait. That wasn't even Paimon's point. Paimon just wants to know why you two were shouting from the top. There was something about almonds, maybe?
No, it's not a code. The words are meaningless.
Perhaps. But that's just what mountain climbers do, right? After all the hard work it takes to make it to the top, as you stand on the summit looking out at the vast scenery... Exactly. You get me, partner. I was afraid that it would cause a disturbance, so I asked the locals around here, and they said it was fine. So, you see, it's not just me.
Speak for yourself.
When you're stressed, don't you ever just get the urge to do something?
Not really. If I ever get stressed, I just go hunting.
Oh, that's a pretty good way to relieve stress.
What I choose to hunt depends on my mood.
Huh?
Anyway, why don't you two give it a try? Shout anything you want. It's a real stress reliever.
As long as Paimon has clothes on her back and food in her belly, Paimon doesn't think there's any stress that needs relieving.
Oh, I bet you guys are just too... No need to be shy. Even Farina was shouting from the top of this mountain early.
Huh? Did Paimon hear that right? Farina's also here?
Believe in your ears. It is indeed as you... Actually, the reason we climbed this mountain in the first place was also because we heard the sound of
Yes, we could just about make out someone yelling things like, "Help me!" and "What should I do?" So we hurried, and what do you know? Miss Farina was standing right there, all red in the face.
That reminds me. I believe what she actually said was, "So help me, I will figure out what I should do about this script."
So you could actually hear what she was saying? Why didn't you say so earlier? I thought someone was really in trouble.
I figured we would come check out the situation either way. Why not let her keep some privacy?
Oh, seems like you caught Farina in the middle of some stress relief as well. She probably would have never thought... No, she definitely would have never thought she would run into anyone she knew all the way out.
I think so. We ran into Neuvillette on the way here as well, but he was already on his way back, so they probably weren't together.
What? Neuvillette was here too? What was he doing here? It couldn't have been for vacation.
I think it just might have been, actually. But apparently he only stayed for half a day before heading back. He's a very busy man.
Neuvillette is not the type to take much time off. Taking even a half day for himself is already a huge step in the right direction.
Didn't Charlotte publish an article on the Liyue tea industry recently? Maybe he was inspired to come buy some tea after reading that article.
My situation is completely different. I'm here because I was asked to accompany you. The tea purchase is simply an added bonus of this location.
You Fontainians and your tea drinking.
Oh, it's not for me. I lost a bet with Ridesley, and now I have to buy him something. It was just a spur of the moment sort of. Ridesley gets really invested in that sort of thing. But he couldn't care less if you could give him mint plants that you plucked from the side of the road, and he wouldn't even mind.
If only he was that easygoing when it came to talking business. In any case, I'm pretty sure the tea you bought is this region's specialty. What is it called again? Yes, that's the one.
You didn't really buy 10 boxes.
Please, do I look like someone who would fall?
That reminds me. You guys said you only came up.
Oh, that's right. Who tell? A few days ago, we heard that a friend was going to be in Chaoying Village.
Oh dear. We've been chatting for quite.
We should.
No need to stay on our account. We just got up here, so we're gonna stay.
Go and meet your friend.
Sounds good.
What do I have to do to get you to yell from the top of this mountain?
You really want to hear it that bad?
I'm just curious as
I prefer to let actions speak louder than words.
Chaoying Village is known for its tea. But you know what else they have with tea? That's right, dim sum! Didn't Gaming say something about dim sum being eaten in the... Oh, well that's fine too. Paimon doesn't care what kind of tea it is as long as it comes with some... Now let's see what kind of yummy things we can find around here. Paimon's not seeing things, is she? Is that Farina standing... Wonder what they're talking about. Zhongli knows a lot of stuff. Maybe he's telling Farina... Oh, or maybe Hu Tao is trying to rope Farina into be... Hey, this isn't the Fortress of... But Paimon could... Since Zhongli... It's decided then. Paimon votes for tour guide Zhongli. Alright, no time to waste. Let's go see who's right. Oh, great. Now Paimon's shouting too.
Oh, well, aren't you a sight for sore eyes? Seems...
That we were able to meet you both without prior arrangement must mean that this is quite the serendipitous meeting indeed.
Huh? Oh, so both of you are acquainted with the Traveler and Paimon then? I'm pretty sure you didn't learn that one from me. I must admit, I am a bit surprised to see you here, Traveler. But seeing as you're a hero who's been all over Teyvat, it makes sense that you would be, well, since we have found ourselves in each other's company within the...
It appears you have been to Fontaine, then. Given your proclivity to spread good deeds wherever you go, it's no surprise that you would make the acquaintance of a celebrity as illustrious and celebrated as Miss Farina.
That's quite high praise. What I mean to say is, you flatter me, Mr. Zhongli. Although I've built up a certain following within Fontaine, it is no reflection of strength or wisdom. I stand before you right now as nothing more than an ordinary traveler in search of beautiful scenery and creative... There is definitely more to Mr. Zhongli than meets the eye. I could tell as much from our conversation earlier. Given his breadth of knowledge on both academic and worldly matters, there's no way he hasn't heard about what happened in Fontaine. Is he just feigning ignorance for my benefit?
No. You're no common tourist. I simply won't have you talk about yourself that way.
Huh? Does that mean Hu Tao also
You may not have heard, friends, but
Miss Hu Tao.
Miss Farina is now one of my esteemed clients.
Okay, you win. Guess Paimon will have to break into the hidden stash at the bottom of her shoe.
Huh? What's this about winning something?
Don't tell me. You two were placing bets on us.
We just saw you guys standing on the side of the road and couldn't help.
Oh, I see. That means you, my friend, must have guessed that I was... That I do, my friend. What was Paimon's guess then?
Paimon thought Zhongli was showing the newbie around.
By newbie, you mean me, right?
If that's the case, then Paimon's guess was also
Oh, that's right. Mr. Zhongli was telling me about...
Ha! You see? Paimon was right too! Since both of our guesses were right, there can't be... Hey, don't be upset, Traveler. How about this? You buy Paimonable and Paimon will also buy youable. As for the third...
Since I was the subject of the bet, perhaps it should go to me? You know, as a congratulations for the huge deal I was just joking. Anyway, I should be the one treating you. The funeral parlor is about to bring in quite the sum after all.
Oh, Paimon almost forgot to ask about the most... Something happen recently, Farina?
Huh? What do you mean?
Well, you know...
Oh, well, yes.
Really? Oh, no. Paimon is so sorry for your loss. Although Paimon may have not...
Whoa, it's not like that, Paimon.
Huh? But Paimon just thought... Since you hired this...
Really, Paimon, it's not like you don't know me. Miss Hu Tao is simply helping prepare some prop. Not too long ago, I read a collection of horror stories from Liyue. The content was Anyway, that's not the point. Now that Fontaine's biggest star has returned to the stage... Hey, that's pretty good. I'll have to remember that for my ad posters.
Oh, Paimon, see? So, did you come to Liyue just to enlist the services?
Well, not exactly. My original plan was to just relax and enjoy the sights.
It was a fated meeting indeed.
Zhongli sure loves his lofty turns of phrase. But if you ask me, it's all thanks to that...
Oh? Who?
It's someone you know. Wanna take a guess? What? How did you guess that on your first try?
Very impressive, my friend. Your guessing game is spot on today.
Huh. Paimon never thought Neuvillette would be the type to get lost.
I'm sure he didn't get lost. Even I was able to find... He was already getting ready to leave by the time I arrived. He just wanted to ask someone about the quickest way to get back to Fontaine.
Yup, that's exactly what he asked. This area is full of mountains and rivers. It's normal to not know the fastest route.
So, were you the one that pointed him in the right...
Of course. I'm also a guide of sorts, you know. So naturally, I also have a great sense. But speaking of your friend...
What about him?
He doesn't get out much, does he? No wonder. He was stiff as a board and way too polite. I would have never guessed...
All in all, he was only here for half a day.
Oh? This gentleman you speak of must keep a demanding schedule.
I'm sure he does. You didn't see him, but he was dressed like he was about to attend some important meeting. It wasn't anything like what's...
Is that so?
Wait, you didn't see him, Zhongli?
Unfortunately, no. At the time, it appeared as if Director Hu and Miss Farina were having quite the productive conversation. I know.
What a shame. That gentleman seemed like a sophisticated sort of guy. I actually think you two would have hit it off.
Is that so? Hmm? To borrow Miss Farina's turn of phrase, perhaps it just wasn't meant to be.
Well, with the traveler around, I'm sure you'll have a chance to get to know each other.
That's right. He's got more friends than he knows what to do with.
Well, that's certainly true. Oh, that reminds me. If you get the chance, you should try and talk to Nervalette into loosening up a bit. Just tell him the Palais Mermonia isn't going to fall apart if he disappears for a few days. He shouldn't keep himself cooped up all the time. Even clams open their shells to let in fresh water every once in a while. If he's really that much of a stickler for protocol, he can fill out a leave of absence request.
Seems like this gentleman is also in charge of something pretty important. I've never heard of a demon that, in my experience, a leader needs to be able to roll with the punches. That also includes knowing when and what to prioritize. It seems like your friend still has a lot of growing to do.
If I remember correctly, he's already several thousands of years old. You're quite right, Miss Hutao.
Oh? Traveler, Miss Farina, those two individuals over there appear—
Oh, it's Navia and Clarand. Hey, over here!
We saw you all chatting over here, and we're wondering if we could join in. Oh, so polite. No apologies necessary. Any friend of the Traveler and Miss Farina is a friend of mine. Ah, straight to the point. I like it. It's getting late. If we want to catch a boat back before dark, we should probably get going.
Indeed. Then, Miss Farina,
Oh, yes?
when are you planning to head back? Do you need us to escort?
Oh, I don't think that will be necessary. I mean, you're not my subordinate anymore.
It's normal for friends.
There are a lot of mountainous roads in this area. Exactly. Just like in those ghosts, 8 paths converge. But if you take a closer look, there may be something you mistook.
My dear demoiselles, ladies, no,
Of course.
Gotta say, by the way, did I hear you mention that Clarand? Then you must have also been a leader at some point.
well, that's, all. Besides, being a leader is hard. I prefer how things are now. I can come and go as
I see. Well, you've certainly picked an apt place to relax.
only the best. And I've learned a lot. Thank you so much, Miss Hutao and Mr. Zhongli.
It's fine. You've thanked us more than enough. The next time you're in this neck of the woods, I'll treat you to some
Dim sum. Is that some kind of...
They are a part of it. It's basically a table.
Oh, so it's basically a tea party.
Make sure to order the winter melon cake and the lotus flower crisp. They're so sweet and...
Ooh, okay. I'll be looking forward to it then.
Wait, but didn't you guys say you were here on vacation? How come you're...
Of course I am. I bought tons of a kite, a parasol, a little tin frog that jumps. Clarand is the...
So, all you're bringing back...
And some tea-flavored hard candies. They're for Sijuin.
Clarand Clorand isn't much of a shopaholic.
Well, one of us has to practice restraint.
Hey, I'm hardly reckless with my Mora.
Me? Oh, well, I bought some tea, of course. I just had to try all the Other than that, just some bits and bobs. They should all be things I can use, I think.
Now Paimon's even... If you bought that much stuff, where did it all go? Into one of Linny's magic packs?
Oh, actually...
Monsieur Neuvillette took them with him.
Oh, so that's what happened. Wait, what? Why did he take them? He's not...
That's quite the imagination you've got there, Paimon. Monsieur Neuvillette just saw the amount of bags we had and offered to take them back for us. I felt a bit bad at first, but, I really did have a lot of stuff.
He even offered to deliver my gifts to the Fortress of Maripede for me once he's done with the day's work. Neuvillette is a man of his word. If he says he can do something, then he means it.
See, even Clorand was happy to take him up on his offer. If even his trusty subordinate agreed, then who was I to refuse?
Wow, he seems like a real gentleman. Maybe he's not as uptight as if only the funeral parlor had an employee as thoughtful, proactive, and responsible. Right, Zhongli?
Indeed.
Clorand said Neuvillette offered to deliver her gifts to Risley. So if we go to the entrance of the Fortress of Maripede, maybe we'll run into Neuvillette.
Oh, that reminds me. A new year of work is about to be. If there's anything you want...
Does the director have any concern?
It just seemed like you were a bit preoccupied today, and much less talkative than usual. He barely said anything other than, "Is that..." If you ask me, I'd say you're having a...
Is that...
Ugh.
Given its distance from the city, surrounded by such peace, I apologize for making you...
What do you think, Traveler? Is this atmosphere putting you in a lazy mood too? Wow, you are getting real...
Indeed.
Congratulations! Scatter!
Look! It's Neuvillette! We lucked out!
Oh, it's you. It has been some time since our last meeting. Few people frequent this location. Since I was able to conclude my work early for the day, I thought...
You call this early? Do you always work this late, Neuvillette?
Strictly speaking, that depends on the agenda for the day. I am hardly bereft of time, however, so working late is of little
Really? If you have so much time on your hands, then why did you only go to Chao?
First, I should clarify that I was referring to my lifespan, rather than the time at my Second, I was unaware you possessed knowledge of my... I see. Thank you for informing me. Yes, they have been safely delivered.
I have to hand it to Clorant. Just a simple gift delivery, and she has the great and mighty Udex at her beck and call.
I was just passing through. It was merely an act of convenience.
All right. Then I hereby confirm receipt of the goods on behalf of the staff of the Fortress of Meripede.
A verbal receipt of confirmation? Is such a formality really necessary for a small matter such as this?
Guess not. This quantity of tea, though, seems a little excessive for a gift, don't you think? Before you know it, they'll start accusing me of taking bribes.
Ah, about that. Much of that is my own excess, I'm afraid.
Oh? Why? What happened?
It was buy 10 boxes, get half off.
Ah, that explains it then. Well, go ahead and leave them to me. I'll get through this stash as fast as I can.
You have my thanks. Oh, there's something else I'd like to give to you.
This is a stone slate, engraved with a symbolic design.
While that is an apt description, it is in actuality a legal codex.
A legal codex, huh?
Before the advent of modern writing utensils, information was recorded on stone slabs such as this. The law was no different.
Okay.
Since ancient times, the scales of justice have symbolized the fairness and impartiality of judiciousness. As a tribute to that sentiment, this slate was designed after a traditional legal codex and engraved with a symbol. During my travels recently, I chanced upon a roadside stall offering tourists the opportunity to try their hand at the ceramic arts, so I decided to have a go. We joked with Clorant some time ago about gifting you a legal codex. So, here you go.
Ah, so that's what this is about.
I did not expect you to remember it as well. In any case, I hope this can be considered as a reasonable attempt to join in on the banter.
It is a very good attempt. I suppose I shouldn't be surprised. Even your sense of humor centers around the law. That's an impressive level of commitment. A gift of this significance deserves to be put on display, and I know just the place. Front and center in the Fortress's showroom.
Surely there's no need for such a...
Just kidding. I don't have anything like a showroom. But we do have a storage room. We can put it next to all the mechanical parts Sijuin has collected.
That sounds good to me.
So that's what you were doing in Chaoying Village.
Indeed. Of course, while I was there, I also took the opportunity to taste the local spring water. The aftertaste is much purer than what I have delivered to me in Fontaine. It stands to reason that the long-distance transport has a tendency to imbue the water with extraneous emotion. If you want to experience the true flavor, you simply have to go to the source. Perhaps I should organize some time off to do the same elsewhere. Then we are of the same mind. It appears my desire is justified.
If you say so, but you don't have to justify a vacation. After all, you're hardly bereft of time. You can do whatever you want.
You're quite right. I suppose I suffer not from a lack of opportunity, but rather a lack of inspiration. However, after reading a few articles about Liyue's holiday traditions, The idea popped into my head and made itself quite Seeing as I was free of responsibilities for the morning, I decided to depart at once. Refreshing. My spontaneous outing seemed to inspire quite a few other spontaneous decisions as well. Take, for example, my foray into ceramics. At first, soil from the ground is granular and unforgiving, but add the right amount of water, and it becomes soft, moldable, and able to take shape. In the past, I never thought about how quotidian vessels were crafted, but now I have participated in their very making. This is also something I made today.
That's a ladle? Paimon thought it was supposed to be some long...
That was indeed one of my inspirations. Really? You like it? To tell you the truth, given your unexpected arrival, I find myself around such an important holiday such as this. Human custom would dictate that gifts should be in order. But I'm afraid this is all I can offer. If you'll have it, that is. That is precisely why it would do me such a great honor if you accepted. You are most welcome. Happy Lantern Rite. Approve a leave of absence request for myself. That sounds like it could easily lead to a vicious cycle of self-indulgence, something which couldn't be in further violation of protocol. But I suppose I understand her point. My proclivity to refrain from personal outings does, in part, originate from a sense of responsibility toward my duties. But it is also due to a lack of desire to engage in the human world. But now I see that the human world is indeed full of many interesting places to discover. Lantern Rite marks the start of the new year in the spirit of the season, then. I wish you a year of success as